Hello, and welcome to session one of Dreamers of Kiriak. And hopefully, I've not made terrible audio mistakes this session. This is session one, though we had a complete session last week because I wasn't ready to begin the game. I'm still probably not. I still probably never will be. But can anyone recap what happened last session?
Sure.
Will you recap what happened last session, if you can?
Nothing would give me greater joy. All right. So the session opens in the late evening with three members of the party approaching a building. I don't remember if it was a particular building, but it was a building in the middle of the woods in which a murder had taken place, committed by a number of flamey snail things. Already in that building was the fourth member of the party, Wrath, and as we approached one another, stealthily and eventually in a louder and non-stealthy manner, we joined up and formed the party. After a short investigation of the dead bodies inside, we decided to track the fire snail spiders into their lair. We found a lair and executed two guard lookout people who seemed to be basically just barely alive anyway. Investigated the cave, we killed two fire slug spiders and found a pool full of slime that burns you and dead people. And then after exploring that pool with the help of name of Jordan's character here, Goras's sorcery, I believe, Antonin first stepped into one of a number of rock-filled boxes that sort of lined the cavern in various places, and was carried through, covered in tiny little spiders, to the lair of the last giant spider fire monstrosity, where the third spider from the first encounter had fled. After a terrifying boss fight in which Antonin was downed and a number of other players took damage, we finally killed both enemies, and the session ended.
Thank you kindly. Mm-hmm. You guys are all very close to the town of Vosarl, and it was a little cabin in the woods, some miles from the outskirts that you came upon. Wrath has been living in Vosarl for years. It's where you all grew up. Wrath was an orphan master, I suppose, is a phrase you could use to describe him.
I like orphan master. That's good.
He was the master of the orphanage that you guys all grew up in, and you all left to become monster hunters and adventurers. And Wrath also left for a bit to become a monster hunter, but decided that life wasn't for him, and so he came back and has raised a few orphans, though he is presently orphanless. We'll transition to that cave where you guys are celebrating being alive. I think it's activate. Does that draw everybody there? No.
Sure does.
Okay.
It does. Yay. It just takes time. We move when we load, not when we
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is where you guys find yourself. Antonin is standing in the gelatinous remains of a mule, yes. And there are all these very sharp, very strong spider webs all over the room. The corpse of the queen lies among you, as does the corpse of the drone.
Taylor, why are you like this?
I'm sorry.
How did you get a spacesuit and visor?
I don't know. You haven't seen the rest of the cave yet.
When the spider is sus.
It really was.
You're pretty sus.
You guys executed two gnomes they weren't even lookouts because they didn't have eyes. I don't think you're allowed to say that.
I think they wanted to die, to be honest.
Well, you didn't ask him, did you?
Nope.
It smells horrific in here. The smell of partially digested mule, the stink of the fluid that gets ignited within the creatures is just filling the air. It burns and it freezes, as a wise golem once said. And I mean, these webs are essentially barbed wire. They're probably covered in hepatitis, if we're being honest.
Of course.
So what do you do? Let me unpause the game and we can figure that out.
Well, Goris takes a few steps forward and then just like stumbles and collapses before. Goris Petro knew it would be okay all along, but I am not doing so hot.
A shimmering mist rises from Goras's skin. It dissipates.
Am I familiar with this phenomenon?
Have you ever seen him almost completely drained of magic before?
We've been monster
assume
hunting
so.
for a while, yeah.
So
Probably.
yes, this is what happens when he doesn't pace himself.
Boris, you're supposed to be a little bit more careful. Do you need any help walking right now?
I think I'll be okay. I think I lost a little bit too much blood, but of course I'll be okay. I am Goris Petro.
Alright, do you think maybe you should eat something?
That is probably a good idea.
Get up, boy. Walk it off.
Pull up. Thank you. That brings me almost to max. I'll just pull out a ration and start nibbling.
Antonin is covered in puncture wounds and very deep gashes, by the way.
And voice.
Help too.
Yes, I suppose I am not feeling so well.
They're a bunch of babies.
Salir,
Did you see what it did to me?
how bemused are you at being completely okay while these other so-called professional adventurers are lying pretty much bleeding on the ground because they insisted on jumping into a nest of spiders and getting pulled through?
They're just not that wise.
I have to ask, why were you so slow to come and assist us in this fight?
Why were you in such a rush to jump into something you knew nothing about?
Because that is our job. We are monster hunters. I knew that there are monsters around, and it was time to clear them out. But do you want to endanger more lives?
I
Smack him
did try
upside
to avoid it.
Goris raises his hand. Says,
I tried to avoid it. I was smart.
Monster
That was
hunters, not
smart.
idiots. You don't just jump into a pit not knowing what's going to happen.
You dragged me into the pit.
Point, we weren't first.
Truth be told, none of you knew it was a pit. You just jumped in and let the earth eat you.
Correct. Because sometimes that's how adventuring works. How would you have defined the nature of this pit without going in?
I wouldn't have. It was not relevant to my interests.
So you would not have gone in, and the queen would still be alive.
Well,
More
you
people
didn't.
would die.
You didn't know it was an inn. Like it could have just eaten you.
It could have, or it could have done nothing. But I found it.
And you paid the price for that.
I feel fine, and we have accomplished our goal. I don't think I've paid an unnecessary price at all.
Next time, everybody else may not jump in after you. So,
I'm sure Goris would follow.
Goris is an idiot.
Goris
I did
is
not follow.
A royal genius.
But next time I will remember that.
That you're an idiot, or
Goris
that you're a
will
genius.
remember this.
Yes.
Perfect. Wrath, you approach this web and you see it stretching almost completely from the floor to the ceiling. The strands are metallic and thick and covered in tiny, narrow barbs.
Somebody cut this thing down.
Are you sure you want to go into cutting it down without first divining every possible danger?
Boy, don't sass me.
I'm bold enough to do that now.
No, you're not.
Were you too afraid to do that as a child?
I was.
Why was that?
Because he's a mean old man.
That's unfortunate. Wrath, what did you used to do to children who talked back to you?
Well, I'd start by hitting them with whatever I could reach.
I assure you,
This
I
is
do
why
not
I
want
left.
to do that anymore.
I am a wise and fair orphan master. So shut up. And cut down the damn web.
Why don't you do it?
Look, boy. Do I look like I have a sword?
Now I remember why I left.
Here, take this dagger. You can do it. Or this sickle.
I take the sickle.
Be careful with that. Don't damage it.
It is a very
It's
nice
very
sickle.
important. It's mostly decorative, just know that, but it is sharp.
Would you
Oh my
like
God.
to try to cut the web?
Yes.
Please make me an attack roll. Do you have proficiency with simple weapons?
Like everyone does.
That's probably how the game works, isn't it? Yeah, you do.
They are simple.
Well, yeah. Have you ever seen a very dumb person try to do something cool with a stick? Sticks are
Yep.
super simple, and they're easy to hit yourself in the face with.
Arguably, not everybody should be, but
Maybe
game
when you're an
works.
adventurer, you can use simple weapons.
Yes.
I have seen myself play with sticks before, yes.
Preferably
Goris
with the
can't
Star Wars
read.
theme playing. The more spins, the better. All right.
Boris can't read, but he is
Hey.
real good with a dagger. Somehow.
I mean, those are two completely different skills. So long as you don't have a dagger manual. They don't tend to come with those, I think.
Nah, just put sharp part in soft bit.
Wrath, can you please make me an attack?
Is that just a strength roll?
Yes. Plus proficiency. So choose a, yeah,
Do you have a weapon that you're using to?
No.
crossbow.
Oh, no.
It's the sickle.
Because if
Hey,
you've
you're-
got a weapon in your inventory, you could just roll that.
Will the,
That's what you're
will
thinking.
the crossbow work? That's all.
That's going to be dexterity. I think you just make an attack
Just
or a.
do d20 plus 3. Your
Yeah.
strength is 0, and your proficiency is 3.
Are you trying to break barbed wire with your bare hands?
Let's try and use a sickle.
No, the sickle that I handed him.
Oh, but it's just not in their inventory. Gotcha.
Oh, nice,
Right.
a crit. So this is a good opportunity to talk about the trading system. On your character sheet, in your inventory, you should see a little thing that says, you see it will say currency at the top. It'll show a little stack of coins and a little scale. If you look at your things in your inventory, all the way on the far right, there should be a little scale icon there as well. If you click on the scale icon on your item, then it will open up an interface, and you can click an item and select a character and send it to them.
That's nice.
I don't know why it's not giving you the option of sending something to Salir, Mr. Anton, if I can select your dagger. Yes.
His player is not set up with a character assigned. I don't know if that's
Oh, no.
part of that.
Dang
Maybe
it.
just right click.
Yeah, let me
configure
configure
him
players.
to-
George, you don't exist.
Okay, George.
Oh,
Do I ever?
Just in like you don't have to configure players. If you just
Okay.
right click his name in the players thing down there,
Gotcha.
you'd be able to like set his color, character, things like that.
His character is selected as Salir to me.
Oh,
Oh,
weird.
to me, he's not.
Yeah, it just says George.
Oh, I got you. It doesn't have the thing next to it. But if I click player configuration... Oh, no, never mind.
There we go.
Hey,
I swear I know how to do those things sometimes.
Yay!
Yay!
That works.
So yeah,
You're-
in future, you can literally just hand him the sickle that way.
That's all.
Yep, I did that
or
actually
you can
just
be
now.
a good role player and say, "Here's my sickle," and then Wrath doesn't actually take it mechanically, but says, "Thank you, buddy." But you know,
He did
this-
that he did that 3 words into your
Yeah.
explanation of how to do it.
Well, it's good to get the explanation, though.
In any event, you hit it. It's It's unfortunately a decorative sickle that you're using to try to cut metal with.
It's
Oh,
actually
it's
metal.
actually metal? I thought it was
Oh, yes.
like metal. I
Oh
thought
yes, it is like metal in that it has like the properties of steel cable. And you didn't
Oh.
fully realize that until you hit it, because why on earth would a spider be able to shoot metal out of its butt and make it into
That
rope?
makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Would I have known that from landing in it, or did I not? I didn't land in it.
You grabbed onto it with your gauntlet.
But that's it, yeah.
I mean, it's a giant spider web. They tend to be very strong. This particular material also happens to be very resistant to slashing. Okay. So please roll me damage on that sickle. Roll it as a crit, please.
Okay, so I have to roll another attack with it because
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
All right, you deal 3 damage to it and cut through some of the strands and completely ruin the edge on the sickle. It will have to be resharpened. It's certainly not completely ruined, but
it wasn't too sharp anyway.
Right.
Your sickle sucks.
You
Almost
damaged
served
my
a
sickle.
Look, boy, I know my way around a sickle. That's not a good sickle.
I told you that it was largely decorative, but still sharp.
Well, what'd you get me for?
So you could cut.
Exactly.
Do I have to do everything for you myself? Alright, I'm going to slash with my packed weapon at the...
Your packed weapon
web.
turns into a very thick pair of shears.
Alright. I use them. Yeah, that's
You hit.
a pretty good thing for them to turn into. Alright. Let's see. Damage.
You are able to, with quite a lot of effort, cut through the load-bearing strands on the web, and it falls to the ground with a warping clatter. That's my sound of somebody, like, snapping a sheet of aluminum.
What I like about it was how realistic it was.
Very nice. If you could provide all the sound effects from now on, that'd be great.
So it's now traversable.
It is now traversable, so long as you have, like, boots on.
Alright.
Can I
You might... Oh, sorry.
can I use my telekinesis, just like take some of the strands and like make a path? 'Cause I've got an invisible mage hand essentially that I can use.
You
Stuff,
can
rather.
you can push enough of them out of the way that you can get through. He didn't cut like all the way down the center. He cut like around one of the edges where they were just anchored onto the wall, and the whole thing just sort of draped down.
Okay. Because Goris doesn't have boots.
Gotcha.
So if he could just like every time he takes a step, just peel some of the ones away so you can make a foothold there.
Yes,
there,
you can do that.
Right.
And it
That
is
way
a
we can
web. There are like holes in it.
Does it look like it might be flammable?
It looks like it's made of metal.
Oh, okay.
However,
Is it
some of the little
flammable
ones
metal?
did shoot flaming web at you.
Yes.
However, those ones didn't feel like you were being latched onto by red hot barbed wire. So who knows?
I did re-equip my
You have your shield, you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I have to tell you that, but
You don't, but I appreciate it.
a man wandering off by himself, boys.
He's a mean old man.
Look, boy, I'm your father, more or less.
I met my father. He was more powerful than you were.
How are you guys progressing? What's your method of progress?
I
Slow.
am
Yeah,
being
just-
targeted by Antonin. Goris feels the menacing aura.
Can you all make me
Oh,
stealth
am I?
rolls
Yeah.
if you're being
How?
stealthy?
I don't know.
I wasn't being particularly.
Oh no,
I just, well, maybe I am.
it's not Antonin. It's Wrath that's targeting Goris.
Oh yes, because he healed you, but
Oh.
he's been giving you the stink eye the whole time.
Oh, I see.
I'm not sure how that works, but I targeted you before doing the thing, and it didn't seem to do the thing anyway. So I don't know.
Gotcha.
So you
Yeah,
want to
it's all
double
good. I
right
just thought it was
click
funny.
to target or untarget?
I just
Double
noticed.
right clicks.
I just noticed as I was walking, I'm in danger.
Also, does anyone want their cursor to be a different color?
Well, for us, it's just a cursor.
But we don't
Yes.
see our colors.
Yeah, I am
really?
blue. I am cool with blue.
Okay.
hard
If
to
you
see.
could change mine to dark mode gray, just for everyone else's sake.
You are a dark mode gray though.
Yeah,
I already
true.
am. Right, I already did that.
Stephanie, do you mind if I change you to a bright color so I can see when you're targeting
Yeah,
somebody?
make it like orange. or something.
Okay.
I'm stealthy.
Yee. Okay.
Oh, we
You all
rolled
feel
stealth.
pretty stealthy. Wrath really didn't care about being stealthy because
Everybody else is being stealthy.
he's old. He can't be bothered to give a crap.
I'm complaining loudly about this current generation.
Okay. That's 3 people.
Goris is complaining at what he thinks is a normal volume.
Soler, are you trying to
I'm
be
muttering.
stealthy?
Muttering about the music.
Thank you.
There you go.
The music. The music. You all hear it?
They don't hear it.
You have to hear it, right?
I'm not sure exactly what the music is.
I'm not sure what it is either, but I hear it.
You have occasionally heard Goras humming very obnoxiously to himself as he goes to sleep. It's not
Okay.
music though. Yes.
Beyond where the brighter light is, I can see everything with a dim light.
I probably configured the scene wrong again. Okay, sight
What do you
limit.
Now that you
mean-
mentioned it, I can see that way too.
Okay.
What do you mean by a dim light? Are you talking about like the places we've been already?
No, everything. If I zoom
So like
out.
there's no fog of war essentially.
Right.
Yeah,
then
I
let
mean,
me-
it's-
Let me set a fog of war then. Let me reset it.
Mhm.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
There you go.
but now I can't see anything.
I can see.
My map experience.
Oh,
I'm
I mean, I
sorry.
can't see where we've been, but that's okay. That's fine.
It's just for my own comfort, and I'll just remember where the other parts of the map are.
Let me do one of these.
You're supposed to be able to see places we've been because I cannot.
No,
He
I
just reset the fog of war.
Is there a reveal like areas thing that I can do? I don't know if I can do that here.
I think that's an alternate mode
I
you
have-
can set or something.
I have
Gotcha.
intuition that, yeah, I'm just gonna go re-reveal the places we've been.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care. I'll be fine.
I won't.
Sorry about that though.
All good.
So Solir, you turn that corner and you see another one of those withered gnomes up to the northeast.
I see. I would have to rediscover.
In Goris, you see that too.
Okay, well, since the other ones have wandered off, I'm not going to holler down the hall to them,
Okay.
but I will point it out to Goris in case he hasn't seen it.
I would
Okay.
actually wandered up, just rediscovering the map.
Yeah, we're just Oh, what is that?
Antonin, you see a very big creature looming down to the southeast. It looks vaguely.
But
I mean, yeah, you guys have fought the Fairlin before. It is a soldier Fairlin. You guys have been fighting the drones and the queen. This is a soldier. It is standing motionless, as best as you can see.
I whisper. There's a much scarier looking one over there. You may want to engage at a distance. Do I know the capabilities of Soldier Fairlin?
Yeah, they will
There-
mess you up. They will rip you in half and then set you on fire while you're still alive.
I will mention to them that there are actually 2 gnomes, it looks like, up that hallway to the northeast.
Boy, I don't care about the damn gnomes. Look at that thing.
I think that there's a slightly more pressing concern at this moment.
I can't see the thing that you're all reacting to because I'm pinned against that wall, so I can't see down that corridor well.
So
Going this
just
way, where it's
step
safe.
forward a couple of feet and very, very carefully peek around. Or just step up.
That's okay, I'll take your word for it that it's there.
Oh my.
Oh my. So, we can.
Wait, where did Wrath go?
Wrath went wandering down the
Oh, okay.
corridor back here. He's
I-
staring at one of the spider portals.
I am somewhat tapped on the mystical energies that I tend to use.
Boys,
I-
there's another spider box down there.
I saw that. Do we retreat here?
All right.
I think we retreat here. I have very little ability left. Oh, wait a second. I should have one use of my per day Armor of Agathis left.
Did it just automatically take a spell slot when you cast with it?
It took the daily use when I
Gotcha.
cast it, because I was like, I want to do daily, and I was like, oh no, I should probably use a spell
Yep.
slot for that.
So you wanted the extra
One of
levels.
one. Yeah. Alright. That's accurate now. And so yes. Retreating.
My God, this place is huge.
Yes. And we should probably leave.
Oh, this is the way we came from up here, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up there is where the pool is. And down this way is the exit. Do we want to...
Should we make
Go ahead.
camp by the entrance to make sure that nothing gets in or out?
It could work, or we could make camp somewhere where we are less likely to have to fight in the middle of the night. Or day. Perhaps the entrance is correct, yes.
Do you guys remember the reason that you came in here?
Murder orphan.
The people were murdered in that house.
Yeah, people were murdered in their house.
So,
And yes, murder orphans.
so yes, we could make camp here. Can somebody remind me, what are the DM special rules regarding resting and the recovery of HP?
You don't get any HP back when you long rest. You have to use magic or hit dice for that. You
Gotcha, gotcha.
You don't just get it back for free.
You recover half your hit dice on a long rest?
You do, yes. Which means, as far as healing is concerned, aside from the recovery of long rest spell slots, you could take a short rest and have the same benefit of getting to use hit dice.
Imagine not playing a warlock with that rule
I don't
set.
think I am so tapped that I cannot continue for now. If we wish to push on a little bit.
And Raph,
I may just need to take a 30-minute half-hour breather. Or 1 hour breather, rather.
Raph, this was the big
Right,
wall of
right, that was-
slime, behind which is definitely a corridor of some kind.
Does this look dismantleable?
If you went into a fit of blind elderly rage and just went ham on it with something you feel like you could probably get through.
Blind
It's-
elderly.
It is it gives very slightly if you poke it with a stick. It's pretty sturdy though.
Are we going outside of the entrance?
Could I just mage hand scoop it?
It is
Scoop,
a
plop,
little
scoop,
too
plop.
resilient for that.
Hmm.
Do we want to take our rest in their cave?
Perhaps it seems somewhat dangerous, but of course, if we're not for too long, I could do it.
Well, we should at least find a corner they're not likely to come across. Like, maybe not the entrance.
Yes, yes, I agree there. Are we trying to make our way through this wall of slime?
We can try.
All right. Did you want to do that, or are you too weak?
Do you have a sickle I can use?
I have a sickle, but you kind of damaged it a moment ago.
Then you
Trying
take
to
care
use
of it.
it wrong. Okay. Shovel?
Will you please
I-
make me an attack roll with the shovel?
I'm just pulling out my pack weapon and seeing what comes out.
Gotcha. It's just a sword.
Okay. I slash it. Does it damage the integrity of the thing?
It does indeed. You
I'm
cut
really
through
good
it.
at rolling 10.
You
Alright.
cut a very deep gelatinous gash in it. I don't know why the
That
gash
should
itself
move
is
to-
gelatinous, but it is. It's
Because it's going blah, 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 blah at the edges.
it's going.
Ooh. Does this seem flammable?
What would seem flammable to you? It's
How could something seem? Well, is it wet?
Well, I mean, like,
No, it's
tar
hard to-
burns.
well, yeah. It's vaguely tarish. It doesn't seem wet. No.
I create a bonfire.
Now this is the same material that's on the walls of every one of the walls. If it is flammable, do you want to set the entire thing on fire? On the other hand, flaming webs have been missing you and hitting the walls, and they haven't set the walls on fire.
You know what?
On the third hand, why would you create burning flammable walls if you can spit fire out of your face, and that's your main method of self-defense?
And you see, now we got the body horror. I'm summoning a fire, touching it, and
Okay.
standing back.
Nothing happens.
Except the fire appears.
There is no interaction between the fire and the wall.
Yeah, but man, don't take that away.
I suppose we just keep chopping. Slash, slash, slash. Hack and
You hit
slash.
You cut through it. A door, a portal opens in the gelatinousness, and you can pass through it.
Excellent.
There's a smearing sound as you shove your way through it, Wrath.
Sloop.
And you
What
see
if
What,
you see
uh,
bulbous mushrooms growing on the ground.
Wants to eat these?
They're very large. They're like large. They're about the size of a toddler. If a toddler was a mushroom.
Is that like a child-sized drink?
Yes.
Do you think we could use these to spice up our rations?
They do smell kind of nice.
Take a bite, see what happens.
How on earth are you qualified to be a parent?
Because he has healing magic.
If no one, since he's been suggested to, if no one stops him, Goris will attempt to take a bite.
Okay. Can you give me a constitution save, please?
Go, okay.
Constitution save, you said?
Yes.
Oh, Goris, they might be poisonous.
Too late.
It tickles.
I know.
And it hurts your stomach a bit. And then suddenly you feel very cool. Like, you know, the opposite of warm. You also feel like you're like, yo man, I'm cool and stuff, but also that.
That's just Goris's, like, just
Yes.
that's just the normal state, yeah.
Or what did you do?
It's like the opposite of spicy, but like still spicy.
You found menthol shrooms. And you also
my
found
gosh.
another spider box.
You want to take a bite of this one while you're at it? Dumbass.
Goris, you might not want to do everything that Red asks you to do.
Oh,
You should know who your real friends are.
like the music.
Kind of like the music, except I don't know what the music is since I've been traveling with you for
Neither do
40
I,
years.
but it's beautiful.
There are more mushrooms this way, Goris, if you want to try some more.
I do not wish to.
Why are all of you doing this?
So Lear, the scent of the mushrooms intensifies as you enter this room here.
What, only for him?
Well, he's the one who stepped in first.
Oh.
And the smell of the the Firlin is not at all present in here. The walls are not covered in the same slime as in the central chambers.
This bit to the northwest of me, is that wall?
That is just wall, yeah.
Okay, because the fog of war is covering the wall part.
Yep.
It looks like
sorry.
a passage. It's not working.
The more polygons you put on
Yeah.
on the walls, the slower your map works. Which I
Oh.
found out when I very carefully contoured every edge of a dungeon
Oh,
for the first
lovely.
map I made in this program. I also had it loading for like everyone could see everyone else's vision.
Oh my.
It was very slow.
You know, you can make the delicately contoured thing in just like Photoshop and then put much lower polygon collision boxes in Foundry. And if you're moving on a grid, you're gonna have like the same effect.
It was what's it called? It was an imported map from a module.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Whoops.
Where has the old man wandered off to?
You wandered. I stayed here.
He's communing with the
Damn.
mushroom still.
Behind.
Where
This
has the
stuff
old
seems to
man
be-
reverse wandered off to?
It's not how that
Something-
works.
I think that is how it works.
Good lord, it's just a never-ending series of mushrooms here.
That is my campaigns in general, yes.
A mycological refuge.
You smell roasting meat. Just a whiff of it.
Roasting like intentional cooking, or roasting like a person.
A little of column A, a little of column B.
How would those two smell different, though?
Well, one of them is all verbal. One of them involves cookery.
Yeah, I mean, can you smell unwilling burning?
Well, you can smell the difference between a person being burned to death by chemicals that came out of an animal and someone cooking.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like the first one.
Does it smell like garlic?
It does not smell like garlic, no.
Ah.
I haven't decided if garlic exists in this universe yet.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
We'll have to figure that out as we go along. You see another spider box. Which is not a thing that should often be said, but...
You see another spider box. Just in case one wasn't enough.
Really,
Right.
how many spider boxes is the wrong amount? What is the wrong amount of spider boxes?
More than 0.
I'm afraid if we start jumping into these, we'll become involved in some sort of horrific portal maze, and it will be...
Become involved, you
Impossible.
say? Yeah,
that a bear trap?
Goras, you see a bear trap. It's not even like
I-
hidden, it's just on the ground.
I, Goris Petro, have spotted the shoddily hidden boar trap.
Boar trap? Bear
Boar
trap.
trap?
Right there.
Little trap of
So
boar,
Goris
too.
thinks it's a boar trap. Canon.
He has never seen bears yet.
No.
He thinks people are just misspeaking when they say bear. It's all boars. All the way down.
I'm not seeing this. Am I supposed to?
Only I, with my third eye, could have spotted it from here. Oh,
Yeah, you can see it now.
It's right there.
because I have pointed it out to you, you are now all able to perceive it.
Wrath,
You want to go stand in it?
You see a dude.
No.
You see the corpse of a dude.
Oh, I do.
There's a dude.
Is he child-sized?
No.
Well, then he's not what we're looking for.
His it's hard for you to tell because you don't have dark vision. But he's wearing burned clothes that seem vaguely familiar to you.
Is the smell stronger over here?
Yeah, it's definitely coming from here.
Can we skirt-
Antonin cannot see it because he's around the corner. Goras and Solir, can you please give me history rolls? Yeah.
I was really hoping for a -1.
From this distance, his clothes are so degraded you can't tell what they might be, but they're definitely familiar to you too. Wrath, were you
You
asking
mean
if
like
you
in
can
a
get
hot
around it?
way?
Yeah.
No. I mean, he was probably pretty hot, like, as he was dying. But, you know, you don't feel, like, aroused by his presence.
What?
I
Under
guess
the clothes, degraded.
I guess I can't dictate whether your character feels aroused by a decaying corpse.
Yeah, it's a very
but
personal decision.
Yeah, you're right.
we
Also,
should
I
have
can't
dis-
see him anyway, so
should
we
have
don't know.
discussed that in session
I
0.
feel like this is the wrong system for that.
Yep. We
Yeah,
need to
that
play
is one of the
Fatal.
things we neglected to cover.
Oh boy.
Wrath, were you trying to get past the
Yeah,
the
I
bear
wasn't
trap?
trying to. I was wondering if there was enough room to skirt around the bear trap.
There is if Solir goes first, or you shove past him, I suppose.
Move your ass, boy. Oh my god.
Yeah, this was very, very shoddily put here. It's not
Right.
gonna get anything that is slim enough to move through 5 feet of space at a time.
Do I see any more bear traps with my third or fifth eye?
Can everyone give me perception rolls, please? Or investigation if you want to squat down and investigate the dirt for him.
I feel like there's so much I don't know about my traveling companion.
Damn.
None of you find any more bear traps.
I'm perceptive as hell, though.
So there you approach the corpse, and looking more closely at it, you recognize this as the uniform of the Virtsian National Guard. This is a soldier from the neighboring country that was recently at war with your own country. He has under one of his arms one of the what did I call them? Dumpty Dum. That's not their name, by the way.
Thanks.
But he has a tank under his arm. Yes. Where are items? The flame bow. You know, it's like a crossbow, but it shoot flame. And around his no, not around his neck. On his lapel is a little device that looks like a chunky badge of silver with the golden crest of Virts on it.
Well, the crossbow is of no interest to me, but I will take the little chunky crest there.
Okay. So let me open yours up and I will move that. And yeah, give me one moment. It is a faintly humming military badge of low rank covered in translucent pulsating lines. And it has some instructions written on it in the back that can tell you how you can use it. And did it actually transfer over? Yeah, it should be under your tools. And now the flame bow isn't just a crossbow. It is a heavy metallic implement comprised of pipes and nozzles controlled with a selector dial and a safety trigger. It is big. I mean, it's more or less a flamethrower, but somewhat magically fancier.
I'm going to assume that's not a
Legally
simple
not a
weapon.
flamethrower.
It is a martial ranged weapon.
Is that an instrument for producing music?
Of course,
Probably.
is now interested.
Don't think so. I think that's a weapon, right?
You have seen them used to scorch entire herds of deer. That was not a great day. That was not
the deer.
what was intended to be done with that on that day. You didn't get your hands on it after that.
It is definitely not a primarily musical instrument.
That's okay. I have enough music, anyways.
It's true.
So, Taylor,
Yes.
with my godlike perceptiveness, do I perceive anything else of interest in the vicinity?
You do not.
You know, gods tend to roll over 30 on stuff.
That is fair.
Squirrel. Well, I'm going to say that this is not a good place for our rest, seeing as how barricading himself in here didn't do him much good.
But it seems like perhaps It doesn't look like anything's eaten his body, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Doesn't look like anything else has been in here, so this may be the safest place to rest.
Should we check the other side of the spider box?
There's a box right here. Something
We
could come in
could.
here from anywhere.
I somewhat imagine in 45 seconds, please go through the spider box. I have an intuition.
Where are you?
I have counted to 45.
Boris just jumps in after like 6 or 7 seconds.
All right.
And thus, Gorus was lost.
I'm not coming in after you, boy.
I was
Hello,
told,
As
Boris?
he sinks away, he's like,
I was told to always follow Antonin through the spider.
Were you?
That's correct.
Okay, hold on. I gotta remember where that goes.
Oh, it wasn't there?
Hold on.
please hold. Jeopardy music, etc.
Doot.
I mean, we could play Goris's music, but I don't think any of us would retain our sanity.
See, Ferdinand has perfect music for when we're just sitting waiting.
Okay,
I
Antonin,
have some options for Goros's soundtrack if you want.
Antonin, if you just
Yes.
ran back to the entrance, you found
I
Goris
was-
proudly waiting near the entrance.
I was running back over here to see if it went through this wall.
You just
I
hear
don't see-
calling from this direction.
Antonin! Antonin, where are you? I am searching for you, Antonin.
Oh, there you are.
There were a lot of spiders,
See.
Goris.
That was
Oh.
not pleasant, but I did as you asked, Antonin. I went
That
into the
was-
spider box.
It was very good. We are learning a lot. Let's perhaps go back through. I will join you the normal way.
I do not
Unless you
wish
want
to.
go around.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back around the
You
normal way
both
then.
walk around. Meanwhile, back at the mushroom. What are
Well,
we
they're
gonna
dead.
do? They finally.
I heard
returned.
that. We are not
Did you?
dead.
Well, you should be.
Yet. Well, that's very hurtful.
What did you
So, did we
find out?
learn anything useful here?
Yes. It seems that these boxes mostly transport you between places that you could get by foot.
Well, you're a goddamn genius.
I know.
Is this something we didn't know?
Yes.
If only you could implement these on the national scale. Trans-Siberian spider line.
That's a
Imagine
lot of
just
spiders.
a dozen hours of being carried by tiny spiders.
Sounds
there in-
awful.
Is there in-flight food?
God, I hope not.
As long as you like spiders.
Just open your mouth. Some protein will get in there.
Oh no.
Oh, lovely.
We brought you food. It's just bugs.
Where did this take you?
Well, it took Goras at least to the entrance to this little mycological haven.
Goris just points in a random, completely incorrect direction, very confidently, and says,
It took me that way.
Was it someplace we've been?
Does that seem correct?
I just came from there, so yes, it was someplace I've been.
Was it? Shit.
Yes, it was definitely. It was a familiar location. I found it
Thank
just
you.
by going back. So, yes, that's. It seems like we don't necessarily have to go through these. Although, well, given the amount of spiders that are currently crawling across Goras's skin, it might not be worth it. Goras, do you want a fire to start burning them off?
I
Or-
didn't even notice them compared to the many that were just on my skin moments ago.
That is fair.
Compared to a minute ago, this is very few spiders.
So what will you do now?
I think we just take a rest, right?
You want the same thing to happen to us that happened to this guy.
No, that's why we're resting.
Well, maybe he was
What don't you
resting too.
understand about this? You have so much more experience than I do.
This guy was in this room. Look at him now. Is this a room we want to stay in?
Do you see how nothing has eaten him?
What if we put the bear trap in the spiders?
Well, so as long as he was only burned to death and not eaten, then it's okay?
He doesn't seem to have been burned to death either.
He does seem to have been burned to death.
He does seem to have been burned to death.
Unless he
Do you
starved to
think
death
he
and then
used-
something came by and just like flamethrowered him real quick after he was already dead.
That
Do you
seems
think-
unlikely.
He used the musical instrument on himself.
No, stop playing with your
Does it
instrument.
seem that way?
He doesn't. No,
It doesn't look like it's pointed at him or something.
he doesn't. You didn't find him with like the nozzle of the flamethrower in his own mouth. It was kind of resting under his arm, like he was gonna use it if something attacked him. And then he got like real tired.
It's only an hour. I say we stay here. You tell me somewhere safer, I'll go there. No? Okay.
What if we use...
Was Goresh
What
just
if we
running through a
use-
list of cities in his head?
What if we use the tops of all these mushrooms to make a barricade?
I actually thought of that.
It's
I'm not sure it would keep a spider out, and what would stop the mushrooms from just being sucked into the hole?
No, I mean up by the boar trap.
We could do it. How high is the ceiling here?
It's like 7 feet, maybe. Not very high.
Brett,
What
do
if
you think
we-
could do that?
What if we covered ourselves in mushroom tops and pretended to be mushrooms?
Could we do that? Are they big enough?
They're the size of toddlers.
Yeah,
Like
that's
a
not gonna
mushroom fort.
work. Just pile up all the mushrooms in the corner and hide behind them.
Yeah.
The spiders will never see us. That's perfect.
They don't have eyes. They won't see you anyway.
We'll be
Nothing else
disguised by
has
the
eyes.
smell of mushrooms.
Ooh.
Why did nobody get that like tiny hut thing or whatever?
Because it's a 3rd level wizard spell and none of us are wizards of 5th level.
That's
Pretty sure I
terrible.
could have taken it, but I declined.
Good job.
Yes. You see, there's Tiny Hut, and then there's also Haste and Fireball, and I only get 2 choices.
All right. Well,
There's the one that trivializes nighttime safety.
So we are resting in here then.
Deal damage.
I'm resting up here in the corner behind this mushroom. I don't know where y'all are resting.
I'm resting in the middle of the room with a nice crackling bonfire.
Lovely.
I'll stay on the
I
other
guess,
side of
I
the bonfire.
guess, and I guess I will stay up here in the hallway and keep watch on it.
Okay.
Alright.
Can I get one perception roll, please, Celia? You hear no danger. Oh, this was
Yippee!
was this short rest you guys were doing?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys get through it without incident.
Like,
Nice.
For rolling hit dice, do you want me to call my shot, or do I get to roll them progressively?
Roll them progressively, please.
All right. Roll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
2. I need what? 7 more. Okay, I rolled 2 hit dice.
And as part of the short rest, I'm going to consume the daily charge of my blood well vial, which gives me a few sorcerer points back.
Okay.
Nice.
Should be 5. 5 sorcerer points.
that was overkill.
Did Stolier take the flamethrower?
No, I left the flamethrower there. I only took that little badge.
I'm gonna take the flamethrower.
There's a strange sound that fills the the air when all are silent. It sounds like the growing of mushrooms, a creaking sound. The mushrooms tremble. Everybody who regains hit dice can gain an extra 1d6 hit points.
I'm already at max, but
Me too.
but it's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Very kind of them.
Does Goras get any extra having got had a special relationship with the mushrooms?
He does not.
It sounds a lot more. I don't even know what the word to describe that would be.
Appropriate
I feel like
for this campaign.
we've all had more special relationships with the spiders than the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like the term special relationship isn't the right term.
Okay, you have been hugged repeatedly for great lengths of time by lots of spiders at once. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. You guys have finished your rest. What will you do now? Sorry, did anybody take the flame bow? I think I phased out for a second.
I did.
Okay, let me add that to your sheet.
I don't think I know how to use it, but
Probably not.
I sure as heck have it.
It also has little instructions on the side telling you to put the selector to the mode you want to use. And it's even got a little gauge for its fuel. Would you like to figure out how much fuel it has by looking at the gauge?
Yes, please.
All right, please roll me 2d10.
2d10. Where is my slash button?
All right, it has 16 charges. I'll add that to the item.
Trying to figure out what the algorithm used to determine how much fuel it has is. No idea.
It's got little notches next to a little glass gauge, and there's like numbers on it.
I meant like the mathematical process
Of
for converting 2d10 equals 16 into 16.
what? I'm very tired.
I'm sorry. It's a math.
Okay, fine.
I'm insinuating that there's a really complicated mathematical process.
You
The joke
really
being
just
that
took
it's
the
just
number,
2d10.
Yeah, being that it just straight converts.
Gotcha.
Statement, Taylor.
What do you
I
guys
think
do now?
Eric, I think you were dealing psychic damage to
You
just
are.
everyone here.
Wait, if I
It's
kill
impressive.
the DM in real
You get
life,
no
we win
experience.
D&D.
The only experience you get is in prison, and that's not a fun kind of experience.
Oh no.
Who wants to take turns jumping into the spider boxes, seeing where they come out, and then coming back and telling us?
I like this strategy.
Or if you stay gone for more than a minute, then we come and save you, or run away.
Griff, where did you go? Did you say you're gonna wait 10 rounds of combat? Griff, I think that the plan was to not bother with the spiders because we can get everywhere just by walking.
You determined that by one box.
2 boxes.
There's been like 20 boxes.
Okay, but both times they have come out somewhere where we could walk to get out.
I don't know. I think this logic makes sense. There is only one Goris Petro, and I can do magic. Therefore, all Goris Petros can do magic.
It's true.
See, Goris Petro is a genius of logic.
I think Goris Petra just volunteered to jump in every spider box.
I did not.
He did not.
Sounded like.
I don't know
I love how you
what
switched to
your
the first
understanding of
person.
consent is.
I did promise to follow Antonin through every spider box, though.
I have no intention of going through them when it's not necessary.
You get all the way.
You guys catch up with Solir patiently waiting.
Hello, Solir.
Bye.
So, do you guys want to see if that soldier is still there?
No.
What do you want to do?
Why not? It sounds like fun.
Seems like the important work we're here to do.
Nobody.
As the few squelches around us.
It is a monster, and we are monster hunters, are we not?
I think we are. We have a badge.
Is that why we came here?
Yes.
Wait, we have
Oh,
badges?
I've got 3 spell slots left. I can only save your asses so many times.
Oh yeah, we have badges.
You all have badges,
Badges.
yes.
No, of course, we don't need no stinking badges, but we do have them.
I will show the monster my badge.
It's.
Has
You
that
do
ever
that.
worked for you?
Can you cast spells through your badge?
I don't think Goris has ever remembered that he has the badge on him. It's just like been in his pocket.
Wrath, you cast light upon the unsurprising Fairlin Hulk.
Is it
He what?
still-
Actually, you shouldn't
Oh.
be casting light. A tiny trickle.
No, I think that's my vision.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I was selecting Wrath.
Oh,
Is that just... Hold on.
The light reaches to about here.
yeah, I can see here.
I do see him.
Now I see 3 gnomes up that passage.
Are those gnomes?
Those are gnomes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Up there.
I'm using our indoor voices because there's a thing down there.
It is not responding at all.
I, Goris Petro, do not have an indoor voice.
Well, can you
Are
just
we-
shut all your voices then?
I think we're technically outdoors, aren't we?
No.
There's not a door, but this is still inside. Now,
If I speak any quieter, how could you hear me over the music?
We're fine. We'll get it.
well, actually, we're able
So
to
where
tune
were
out
you
the
then?
music.
Oh crap! There are
Okay.
things to the north. A spider and a something person, maybe.
Yeah, so there, you
A spider
see...
and a something person, maybe. You've
see
always
it-
had a way with words.
You see a drone, and you see a very still child, who is tied to one of the rocks in the same way that the gnomes are, with a strand of thread.
Hey,
Yeah, I guess I will draw the 2 rapiers and head towards the spider.
All right.
I suppose we're doing this then.
Wrath and Solaire, you see another spider to the east. You see more gnomes. You see another child who is likewise very still.
Boys, I think we found our murder orphans.
Solaire the spider does not react as you approach it.
Can we
Well,
tell if it's
hell.
alive? Do they breathe? The spiders breathe?
Have you ever seen a spider? Have you ever seen a spider breathe?
Doubly no.
Well then.
Well, I think the best way to see if it's alive is to stab it with the sword.
All right.
I was going to say poke it with a stick, but
Can you make me an
Basically that.
attack at advantage, please? You crit.
The hell of a poke.
He's very good at poking things with his rapiers. And you just gently stab it through the brain, and it does not react. You
It appears it was dead.
You withdraw your rapier, and some gelatinous ooze pours out and slops to the ground. Nothing happens further.
You have a mess.
you want to try the other one?
Do the
No, I'm going to go over and check on this child over here.
The child is breathing, but is in a state of severe shock.
you're about to take like 300 psychic damage, and
Well, there's nothing I can do for that one.
Wrath, this child is neither responsive, but is certainly still alive.
They're fine. Go take care of the spider.
You
Do
have,
they look injured?
they are covered in bruises, grime, and scrapes. You check them both and do not find any wounds.
Should we take out the gnomes first?
Poor gnomes.
Yeah, like similarly have like drums next to them.
They do, yes.
Should we each prepare an attack at the exact same time and coordinated strike? Okay, I will get the one that is on the right behind the spider.
I will get the most distant one.
Then I will take the one to the left.
And I'll sit here and just supervise. What, do you think I'm too old to do crap?
On some level, yes.
Look,
You'll have advantage on all your attacks.
somebody going to count down to make sure we do this simultaneously?
Oh, yeah, sure.
On three. 1, 2, 5, 6, 3.
You all hit. I think. If you got a 10 or better, you hit.
All right.
All right.
I did 13.
Actually,
fire.
oh wait, no, it's yeah, it's a crossbow, not a sword. Oh, I should set up different macro keys for the different weapons.
Probably.
That's
Your hail of executive slaughter just annihilates the gnomes.
This does not automatically consume crossbow bolts.
I think when I summon it, it has one.
It summons what? Yeah, it summons with one.
No, but mine.
If you fired your crossbow bolt, you'll have a 50% chance to recover an individual bolt. If you fire multiple, you'll just recover half of them. So
You can.
Did
set
I
up-
guess it's time to go get the
say
spider.
Infinite profit.
your bolt broke.
Do I have bolts, or is it summon like does
Your-
it make a bolt
When you summon your weapon, it
appears?
summons with one single bolt.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I was referring to Wrath because Wrath was.
Oh yeah.
Wrath was the one asking
so-
using a mundane weapon.
You can have it set to automatically consume bolts, but it takes a little bit of configuration.
Gotcha.
As far as character sheet stuff goes.
Yes.
I realized the other day when I was explaining my Raspberry Pi to someone that configure is just the nerd way of saying setup.
Yes.
Well, you've
Could be,
slaughtered
guess.
some gnomes. And Solir is standing beside a motionless, wrathful Firlin drone.
I'm going to poke it with the sword just like last time to make
Alright.
sure it did.
You likewise have advantage.
So do you think that perhaps because we've killed the Hive Queen,
You hit.
they are non-responsive?
You sever.
I do not know.
You sever its spinal cord, which for some reason the spider has.
So it has an endo and exoskeleton, right?
This one appeared to be dead as well.
Solir. That just
Yes?
down around that corner there. There's the big one.
Around which corner?
Just down
South
this
or
way.
east?
North.
I point south.
Goras doesn't know directions, is the joke.
Who knows which way we're pointed down here? Gorath is almost as good at directions as I am.
Doris confidently says,
Just south of southwest.
Solir, as you step right there, the creature twitches.
Get back.
It seems to be waking up. It's time for fun.
It's perhaps before it starts moving a lot, we should all attack it again.
We initiate combat. Its turn is first. It lets out a bubbling, groaning sound, and some slop comes out of its mouth. As it approaches, you can see that it has been bleeding for what looks like quite some time from every orifice. There's a lot of dried blood covering it, and bits of it fall to the ground as it walks.
Oh. Great.
It moves, I mean, it might as well be slowly compared to spiders. It's still very fast because it's a spider. This thing has its exoskeleton is not quite as hard as the queen's. It's very tough. It's kind of knobbly. It covers what is clearly a set of bones underneath. What look at first glance like eye sockets appear to be some combination of nostril and auricle. And it's going to, let's see, charge you. So I need you to make me a strength saving throw, Solir. Actually, never mind. It's got to try to hit you first. Does a 22 hit?
Most certainly.
All right. Now I need you to make me a strength saving throw. And you fail, so you are knocked prone. Do your shoes prevent that?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I mean, it could still knock me on my ass with my feet still planted on the ground.
That is true. That sounds like not a lot of fun at all. That sounds like a one-way ticket to new kneecaps.
Well, but thank goodness those are so easy to come by.
Right. An Airsat's kneecap.
Who said anything about it being not from another person?
You'll take 19 bludgeoning damage.
Ugh.
Does uncanny dodge still work when I'm prone?
That's a very good question. Let me take a look. You can see it, so yes, you do a very deft roll to the side. You only have the initial damage, the 13. You'll still take the whole 6 because that's extra damage. I believe. Hold on, that's probably not right. Never mind. Let me take a real
You
quick
normally
look at
round
this.
up on damage when you have it, right?
Okay, so the charge. It takes an extra. No, you'll be able to have all of it. What? We'll roll down on damage. Round down. Round down on everything for consistency.
So it'd be 9 points.
Yes. That's its turn. What? There we go. Wrath, your turn.
Run that way.
That's the spirit.
It needs that guy.
DC 14 saving throw. It passes.
Fantastic. And where's the other?
Your holy fire does not catch its flesh.
Oh no.
And we don't have a spiritual weapon for you yet.
No, what would be appropriate for him?
Gosh, that's a really good question. That'll hit.
What about like the paddle you use to discipline kids in the orphanage?
It was these
Yeah.
you spiritual paddled children. I love it.
It's just a cloud of paddles.
Oh no!
Oh,
Are you gonna do paddle
this hurts
guardians
me more
later?
than it hurts you. One shot's child.
Babylon's Gate, but just paddles. Just...
That's what healing word's for. Okay, so you deal
Just
11 damage to it.
Beat them with one hand and heal them with the other hand. It's
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Oh lord.
awful.
All right, we'll make you a paddle later. For now, it's just here. I am going to need the other 3 guys to make. I'm gonna need you guys to make wisdom saving throws as you see an item of trauma from your childhood just materialize in front of you.
Oh,
Wisdom save, you said?
Yes, please. From Goras, Antonin, and Salir.
that seems unfair since you were the one that suggested that.
No, it's fine.
Why did I? Oh, I was like, why did it remove my proficiency? Because I asked it to remove my proficiency. Because I'm dumb.
Antonin, you're able to withstand. Your will is strong.
I've seen worse shit than that.
Goras, you fail. Unfortunate. You're gonna take 1d4 psychic damage.
Those paddles, they interfere with the music.
Alrighty.
And Salir, did you make me a saving throw?
What kind are you looking for?
Wisdom, please. And you also are unaffected by the trauma of seeing the spiritual paddle manifest before you.
They're just so used to telekinesis.
Wrath, do you do anything else?
No.
All right, Antonin, your turn.
Sorry. There is. Funnily enough, there's music happening upstairs, and it's distracting me.
Oddly, only you.
What?
Oddly, only you can hear it.
Funnily enough,
Is Goris
The
based
worst
on
thing is-
Eric?
maybe. Oh no.
Goris
Oh,
need to
no.
start talking about feats all the time.
Probably.
Oh, no. He's got a feet fetish.
Also, Eric in real life is very often distracted by music only he can hear in his head. Like it drowns out
Limp.
conversations sometimes. It's great. I will. Shit, what does Mind Spike do? You know what? I'm just gonna walk up and stab it.
There we go.
I know I took Mind Spike, but reading my Hun spells sounds like a lot of work.
Does it even have a mind to spike? That is the question.
That is a good question.
There you go. I don't have confidence
Now,
about that.
it didn't just completely die when the queen died, so maybe it has more of a mind than the drones do.
Exactly. It does seem to have some consciousness. I slash it twice with whatever comes out.
It's a sword.
Excellent.
You hit.
19 to hit. First hit. 13. Damn.
You chop off one of its arms.
Cool. Second slash. Ooh, that
That is not hit.
Your boy forgot to cast Hex.
Mm.
He'll do it now.
You slash off one of its arms and then go to slash at the same spot and miss because there's no longer advantage
You
there.
really need to refine your kata.
Yeah. Let's see. And I would like to give a disadvantage on strength checks.
All right. Its joints sag noticeably. You hear the sound
Excellent.
of oil draining out of a punctured tank.
So is that its inner joints and its outer joints?
That's a very good question. I have no answer.
Okay.
Oh, and I will use the rest of my movement to rotate just a little bit around it.
All right.
Alright. Done.
Does that count as
Alright.
flanking?
No.
Bummer.
Solir, your turn.
But it does count as an opening for anyone with a melee attack.
Yes.
Could have moved a little more and
Okay,
flanked
so
him.
how much of my movement's it going to take to stand up here?
Half of it.
Okay. Well, then I will stand up and move around to the opposite side away from Anne.
All right. You're going to have to get very close to the creature and squeeze through the wall. It will. Let's see. It would be dumb to make that an attack of opportunity against you, I think. Are there rules for trying to move through a space occupied by an enemy?
I learned this the hard way in
Yeah.
Aaron's campaign. That if the corner has a wall like this, you can't move diagonally there, according to the normal rules at least.
Gotcha. So he would.
You'd have
Ignore
to
that,
you'd have
right?
to move down and right, like
Yes. And he would be moving through a space occupied by an enemy is what I'm
Right.
saying. I can't remember if there are rules for doing that.
Yes. I forget them though. You can there's like a way to either make a strength or dexterity check to
Okay.
get through.
If you'd like to shove through, can you please make me an opposed strength roll, Solir? Knowing that Antonin just weakened it, probably he said,
Well-
I'm gonna weaken it.
Yeah, but I'm about as weak as weak can be, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to stab it twice.
Okay.
This says you can move through an enemy space if it's at least 2 sizes larger than you.
It is not 2 sizes larger than him. He can't just like roll under its legs. You miss. You hit. You deal 4, and you can deal sneak attack with that. And you stab right into one of its bleeding orifices and twist your blade around like you're filleting a fish, and just rip apart its jaw and the top of its rib cage. It falls to the ground and stops moving. You kick it a few times in the head. That's largely what stops it from moving.
Well, that was less fun than I was picturing.
You want to go find another one?
Sure, sounds good to me.
Shut up.
This creature's fluids do not seem to burn your boot, interestingly enough.
I found it.
Wrath, you keep waltzing. You see another one up above.
There's another one up above.
Above what?
North. That way, and I point.
Where the gnomes were.
That way, and I point.
Solir is kind of like around the corner. He can't really see your arm.
Oh my god. I drag him over and shove his head around the corner so he can see.
Solir, you can see it. Not from that angle, apparently. The corner blocks you.
No, I just think the old man's nuts.
Stand just north of me.
Chorus does so.
Oh my god.
Chorus, you can't see it. There's a corner in your way.
I do not. Even with my fifth eye, I cannot see what you are talking about.
So there, you can see it now.
Got it now, dumbass.
Ah, there it is.
You want me to stab that now?
It's standing, it almost
I am
appears to be watching over one of the spider boxes.
It's a trap. It's waiting
gone.
for something to come popping out.
And actually, you
What
guys
did
are now
I
close
miss?
enough. We're entering more combat.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Huzzah!
Your lucky day.
Antonin, your turn.
Great.
What you missed is that it's your turn.
Excellent. I step forward through my people. Maybe a little bit further down. Great.
You see another one to the south.
Yes. Oh, there's two more down below me. Bonus action. Transfer Hex over this
All right.
gentleman. Eldritch Blast.
The air distorts.
Boom. 1.
You hit.
Alright. For damage plus a d6 of necrotic. D6. And I don't have Agonizing Blast, which is, sad and tragic.
Its skin peels away.
27.
It turns and walks its face directly into your blast.
Alright. Plus a d6. Critical hit.
And as it walks, it just progressively melts into a pile of sludge on the floor.
Very cool. Does the d6 get doubled as well? I don't know.
Yes.
It would, but yeah,
But it
with the
got Yoda
situational
anyway.
with the situational bonus, you have to double it yourself. Unfortunately.
I see. And I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more
Combat
blocks
ended
of
before
movement
I
left.
actually began it.
There's 2 more down to the south. Oh, pass turn. That's the end of my actions.
Yeah, you're out of combat now.
Oh. I thought that they would have initiative.
No, they're staying still.
Chorus tucks and rolls through, and then it holds out his blood vial like he's looking for an opponent to attack. And
Goris, you see nothing.
Well, I will real quick hex and blast the little one we can see.
All right, you hex and blast it.
It's like the bend and snap. Works every time.
You hit.
Plus D6. Not D56. That might produce a higher number.
That's a slightly higher number than you're probably gonna get. And it explodes,
Explodes. Awesome.
splattering the big one with spidery viscera. It twitches and begins to sniff the air.
Oh, another one. Can I hex and blast that before it runs?
No.
Everyone shoot it! Oh, that's a shame.
I will be happy to shoot it.
suppose we will all do so in our own time.
Goras, your turn.
I go first this time? All right. Well, 10 feet of movement. That's not too far away.
You see a disingenuous Virulent Hulk.
Ooh. He's
I like
disingenuous.
the
I don't like that.
adjectives they're getting.
Firebolt.
All right.
Pew.
You miss.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Right, pass turn.
Its turn.
It goes so far.
It does. And in the end, it's gonna attack Wrath. Oh boy, Wrath, are you ready for this?
I didn't do anything.
It's drooling, it's drizzling blood splatters the floor and the walls as it lurches towards you, like really fast. Does a 12 hit?
No.
It stumbles and kind of falls as it tries to attack you, and you just shove it away. Wrath, your turn.
Oh god, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize my name.
Secret Phlegm. It fails. You aim your fire better
Sacred
this time.
phlegm.
Yes. Its back catches on fire. Do you do
What's that
anything
smell
else?
like?
Frankly, your nostrils are too assaulted by everything else in this cave for you to know what that is.
No, that's it.
Okay. Salir.
I am going to face step behind this.
All right.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to stab it in the back.
All right.
Nothing personnel, kid.
You will have +1 to hit on that.
Do you get any of your like seasonal fade thingies?
That is a good question. You'll hit it regardless.
I took the one that'll allow me to face step somebody else instead of me.
Ah. Cool.
Okay. Spring. Oh, so you're party mode, right? Or is that summer?
Spring.
Spring. It says up at the top.
Spring
face
is party mode.
Okay.
No. I just can't remember which mood spring was. I think summer is party.
What the hell are you
Spring
talking about?
is. Each of the seasons comes with a mood that you tend to exaggerate when you're in that mood.
I mean, it says it may, and some do.
Yes.
Okay.
You stab it in the spine, and you just kind of since its spine is now exposed by the flesh being burned away by Wrath, you carefully put your blade in between two vertebrae, and you just shove in. The blade catches against the backside of another vertebrae. Your blade bends just ever so slightly, and then the vertebrae shatters, and the top one kind of comes down to a rest on the lower one, and it twitches up top quite a bit and then falls down dead.
Goris blows some smoke from his blood vial and says, "If it weren't for my distraction early on, it would not have gone down so swiftly."
Or
He strikes a pose.
Lovely.
Oh, are we out of combat?
You're out of combat.
I have to imagine this would be a lot worse if we hadn't immediately killed the queen.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Spiders, hex, pop.
Yes. Okay. You can pop a hex on them. These ones likewise do
Alright.
not move.
Sounds good.
Don't look at the number of
attack.
Tylenol on the floor.
Second shot.
Yeah, they've been popping a lot of pills here.
They've been having a spider rave. Yeah, you can attack
I
all
forgot
these spiders
to,
as much as you want, and you're just gonna murder them. They're not gonna respond. You don't even need to
All right,
bother
cool. I
rolling.
won't bother rolling. Just Just on long-range spider cleanup duty.
Right, you see a
Pop,
lot
pop,
of
pop,
egg
pop, pop,
rolls
pop.
on the floor.
Just a lot of what?
Oh, I love egg
They
rolls.
look like egg rolls, more or less.
Oh, are they rolls of eggs?
Do you want to take a look?
Yeah. Yes.
I smell pet spiders.
You smell a lot of pet spiders. You see a lot of eggs. The shells are translucent, and you can see little fetal spiders with no exoskeletons crawled up inside.
These green dudes.
What are the glowing? What are the glowy things on the wall?
There's some kind of luminescent mineral deposit. They're not crystals. They're something else. They just look like crystals on the map because we're using our imagination.
Taurus, how do you feel about perhaps dousing this room in fire? Because this is a hatchery.
Goris shifts slightly, kind of pulls on a strap that's across his chest, and reveals that it was a bandolier full of oil flasks this whole time. So he pulls two out.
I could certainly do that. Yes.
You gotta watch from back here.
With the glance of I don't even know what, fluff or nothing.
The what now?
It's a reference.
It's yeah.
Lovely.
So I will just yeet two oil flasks, like one kind of here and
Okay.
one kind of here,
Yeah, the oil spreads and makes big old puddles.
and then I'll step back to here and firebolt.
All right, is
whoops.
Antonin going to step back?
Yes, Antonin was trying to bandbox himself, but made a template.
Okay. Okay. The oil catches on fire and thwumps, and there's a gigantic billowing cloud of smoke that begins to choke you all. Can you all make me
sure,
Constitution saving throws, please?
I keep misclicking. Here we go. Constitution.
I will be actively recusing myself from the location of. You understand.
Deals.
Run. Wait, where's the?
Antonin, can you make yours, please?
Does this immediately deplete the entire cave system of oxygen?
Oh, it's getting there.
I mean that'd be a lot of. It's oil. It's not like.
Antonin, can
Wait,
you please
we never
make me a
saved-
Constitution saving throw?
The children are gonna suffer
Oh,
death now.
these children.
His children, yes.
Antonin.
I
Get about them.
well, I grab a child. Just
Tied to the.
Can you
trucks.
breathe well enough to grab a child? Is the question.
I assume we're outrunning the smoke on some level.
Can you please make me a Constitution saving throw?
I did.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, you didn't.
Oh, that's weird. I clicked it and I told it to roll it. Okay, well
Found your
let's try
way.
again.
Sometimes it can be like that.
What?
There we go. Yeah, you're
Okay.
all fine. You can each grab a child. The thread is not as hard, as tough as the other.
But how are we gonna
Metal.
each grab a child?
You can each grab like two of the limbs of a child and just do that.
I want the left half of this one.
Sounds like a you problem.
I cut each child in half so it's equal.
Have you done this before, Wrath? There are only so many things that your magic can heal. Did you have to find that out the hard way?
Wow.
Wait, two? They're orphans. Nobody cares. Whatever. Somebody else carry one. I'm too.
You're supposed to care.
I'm too old for this shit. Let's go.
Goris will pick one up.
Okay.
I guess.
And if no one else has taken one, Solaire will take the other.
Now
Okay.
I've got him.
I can't really add the children to your inventory, but you know,
Why?
because they're not objects; they're people.
Yeet.
You haven't been
Say
on
that
rat-
now. Alright. We burned a bunch of babies. We rescued some children. All in the good
give me-
days.
We
We're-
cooked a bunch of egg rolls.
Yes.
You cooked a bunch of egg rolls.
See, that's the less. That's the. Yeah, that's the. You say you have low intelligence. That's PR right there.
I didn't burn embryos. Yeah, that would have been a hell of a lot rougher had we not killed the queen immediately.
Yes, it would have been.
Yeah.
Lucky.
I'm not entirely
That feel
sure.
when you accidentally boss rush.
Sorry, Taylor.
I mean, it's not a sorry thing. It's a we get to continue the campaign thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we would have died.
If you had done the exact same order of just running ahead, well, without having killed the queen first, you would have encountered multiple pods at once. Yes, and several of them would have been lobbing napalm at you.
Perfect.
I've played XCOM before. I know how to do this shit.
Yeah, this was chrysalids, is what this was essentially.
Damn
That
right,
makes
isn't it?
sense.
Okay, so you guys leave the cave. Do you go? Where will you go from here? Are you going to go to town, or are you going to go back to the cabin for some reason? What will you do?
Well, we should probably show them the bleeding corpses of their parents. That seems like
I
the
was
right
thinking
thing to do.
That's how you put the fear of the
we
saints
could
in them.
send Wrath in to clean up the cabin first, and then allow the children inside. You know,
Now,
to minimize trauma.
Wrath was
Wrath.
called to take the children back to town. Like, that was the reason he was at the cabin in the first place. So, like, he has gathered his quest items.
Well, we were hired to return them to their parents, correct?
No. You were hired to take the children away from their parents and keep them in your orphanage for a while because they were worried that there were monsters that were going to break into their house and eat their children. The parents were, like, really not well in the head because they work with Mercury a lot. So, you know, it wasn't the smartest series of events that they asked you to do, but yeah, that was what you were hired to do, is to take the children to the orphanage. Unfortunately,
Well-
your clients now can't pay you.
Well, but I am the rightful owner of 2 orphans.
In the eyes of the law, yes.
Perfect. Well, back to town then.
All right. And
Bring my
that
orphans.
was where all of you were headed in the first place. So let me then...
You're
I'm going to call a 2-minute break and we'll reconvene after that.
alrighty. I'll be right back then.
I don't know.
I am back. Is everyone else back?
Steph's still here in the kitchen. She will be back momentarily.
Okay.
I'm around.
Yell at me if you're not here.
I'm back.
All right.
Taylor, I have to say I do appreciate you giving
And
breaks.
Bick.
The what now?
I said I do appreciate your giving breaks.
Oh, thank you. I also appreciate me giving breaks.
Well, not everyone does that.
Some people get just hyped up and intense on the dramatic amazingness of the moment.
Yeah, my sessions tend to be 2.5 to 3 hours, and then we're all like, would you look at the time?
Well, some DMs are used to sitting on their asses all day long, so they don't think that other people might want to stand up every now and then.
Oh, I certainly am not. Oi.
I'm not referring to anybody individually, though.
All right, we are going to transition into the next chapter, if you will, the chapter 1. As you make your way to the town of Vosarl, which, yes, we will transfer in a moment, you are all thinking about, now that you have a moment, about that gate that appeared behind the queen as she passed out of this dimension, how you saw that dark and dead beach and the sea with the reflected light of the 2 moons. And
Is that a thing that happened?
that was a thing that happened. I guess it's good that I mentioned
Yes.
Yes, it was a thing.
I don't have any recollection of that.
it. Me
That's
having
why
a
her
boss
corpse
run
didn't
away.
stick around.
Yeah. That and I deleted the token.
My notes are important.
Yeah. Playing into the trope of Taylor just having the bosses run away without giving you a chance to just properly kill them. But yes, doors opened in the air behind her, and she just stepped into them and they closed and she was gone. Now, each of you, when you cast Misty Step, you pass for the briefest moment into what you've always considered to be a vision. Maybe just some kind of magical distortion of the real world, where you've seen dead sands beneath you, and you've smelled a rotting and mysteriously fragrant scent in your nose, and seen terribly bright moonlight just for a moment before you pass into the point where your Misty Step takes you back in this world. And you're beginning to realize that either you were seeing things again as the queen passed into something else, or there's more to your Misty Step than you'd previously thought. Maybe you bring this up among yourselves. I don't know. I don't know if you would have ever talked about it among yourselves previous to this. Well, you eventually reach Vosarl.
Goras can't Misty Step, so he would be left out. But that's
Goras
fine.
cannot Misty Step. Why was I thinking he could Misty Step?
I think it's on the list of things I could have taken, but I didn't.
Gotcha. Well then, yeah. So Goras cannot Misty Step.
But we don't smell spider slugs in this place.
On the road, no. It's just gonna be one.
No, in the
At
while
the
we
town?
Misty Step.
Oh, when you Misty Step, no, you've never spelled spiders before. Okay, let's see if it turned to night properly.
Leading an orphan convoy.
A convoy of 2 orphans.
They're
Also, I
all
think we're still
orphans.
carrying them because they're,
Yeah.
traumatized.
Yeah. Are they still in shock?
Yeah, very much so. Okay, it should be darker, I think.
So there's like a trumpet.
At some point along the journey, then, Goras would have tried to reach out telepathically to one of them, or
Gotcha.
both of them.
If you do that, they will stir into consciousness.
All right, I would just. Hello, is there anyone home? Anyone in there?
Yeah. Yes, says the boy. Oh, he's a slimy captive. That's unfortunate.
Oh my.
Their names reset. He says, who are you?
I am the great and glorious Goris Petro, Master Magician. We have just saved you. It was mostly me that saved you, of course, from the cave you were in.
Do you keep your Monster Hunter badge visible?
He doesn't know where it is.
Oh, gotcha.
He has been told that he has one, but it's somewhere amongst his possessions.
It does not
Fine.
have his possession. Is Anton carrying it so it doesn't get lost?
You know what?
Honestly,
Probably at this point,
Probably, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. You mentioned the cave, and he like grabs on your shoulder harder. Oh, where are we going?
We're heading back to safety.
Oh,
Back to town.
oh. He doesn't respond anymore. He falls asleep,
All right.
and the girl wakes up, and she sees the she would see somebody's badge, probably Salir's, glinting in the moonlight. She eventually sees Wrath, and her eyes go really wide, and she doesn't go to sleep, but she doesn't say anything, and she'll just not talk if people try to talk to her. She doesn't want to be near Wrath though.
Right.
Joking.
And I would say,
What a surprise.
I would say, with my voice now, to the others.
Well, it appears that both of them are able to hold a conversation at least. So that is a good sign, I suppose.
Now, calendar.
It's true.
I don't think there's a clock on this calendar, is there? Time settings. Dumpty-dum. Okay. All right, it's about 10 at night currently.
See through doors. Is that meant to happen?
You can see through doors. If you're seeing through things,
Those
you're
might
probably
be
seeing-
windows.
Yeah, you're gonna see through the windows. You are meant to see through those unless they're shuttered closed.
Like a door.
Yeah, Wrath, you need to stop going in through people's windows. It's just not,
There's a picture
civilized.
There's a picture of a door.
I know, because you can close
Yeah,
them or
it's
not. I
simply
think.
not done.
I need to set up windows better. They import as doors, and I just didn't properly transfer them over. Yeah. So Wrath, this is a time at night you expect normal people not to be out, which is why you often take walks, I suppose, probably. You know, your orphanage is further north, but this is the town square. What you all would know from being here previously, living here, is this is the inn, this building here. It is not an amazing place. It isn't really an inn, I suppose. It's a tavern. It used to be an inn, and then they converted the sleeping quarters to a back room because there were like no travelers who had ever come through here, and people liked to pay extraordinary amounts of money to have parties in the back room. And when I say people like to, I mean there was like a family that had way more money than everybody else, and so they would do it just to flex on people.
Oh, I thought you meant in a seriously different way than that.
No. I don't know what you meant. I'm gonna stop thinking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably good.
And up here to the north is the... he's a dude who claims that he's an alchemist. He's effectively the doctor for the town. And there's a skeevy place that tries to pretend that it is also a bar that is in competition with the tavern that's up here. And there's the town hall over here. Those are all the points of interest that have any relevance at all right now.
Oh, there.
What's that?
In the middle top.
That's somebody's house.
Okay.
The big orphanage proper is in the north, and I haven't made a map for it yet. It was some years ago. You had a small little orphanage, Wrath, and the town built a bigger orphanage for you because there were unfortunate circumstances that led to an increase in orphans in the area. And so for their generous donation for the construction, your old orphanage was given to the inn, and there's kind of a public sleeping house that's down near the middle of the town square that you would rent out from the bar if you wanted it.
Population of this town.
Not very big, like fewer than 50 people at any given time. It's more of a village than a town. It's a village that has a good Sunday shirt, which means that it's its only shirt that has sleeves.
Alright, where are we bringing the orphans to?
Suppose you could just take them to the orphanage.
But there's no map for the orphanage.
There is no map for the orphanage.
It won't work.
We could theater of the mind you going into a building and saying, "Hey, orphans, here's your home." That's entirely possible.
Well, we were instructed to bring them to the town, so in the town they are.
Yep, yes. Now, you strangers, what are your reactions to coming back to your ancestral home after all these years? You're seeing it dimly by moonlight. Your memories of it may be a bit different than your what you're seeing now. Maybe buildings have been built up and torn down. Maybe these cobblestones weren't really there last time. Maybe the bushes weren't. What do you think?
Brings back bad memories.
How many of those are just because Wrath is here?
You get to the orphanage.
Most of them.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
really miss
more
this
than
place.
half. Yeah, greater than 50%.
It seems a lot smaller than I remember it being.
The door to the bar opens, and an invisible person I don't have a token for staggers out. She's a lady who looks a lot older than she is, and she's got a wine bottle in each hand. She staggers past you, Wrath. She stops. She turns and squints at y'all. She says something in a language none of you can understand because it's very drunk, and then she continues walking by.
She says something in a language we can all understand, but we don't understand it.
Essentially.
We understand that it is a language.
She walks into the
Eventually.
forest.
Wonder.
Are there
Where's
houses
she
in that
going?
direction?
There are, like, a mile or so out, maybe.
She'll be fine. If not, no great loss.
You don't know who she is, Wrath.
Assume.
Oh, are you going to go direct to the orphanage? You people who are from out of town,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do?
I suppose. I mean, I've said a lot of stuff this session already, but
You have.
I'm
said
just gonna
words,
follow
yes.
Wrath.
Okay.
He's
Antonin,
got work to do.
Antonin,
What is it, Chorus?
the music is quieter here. I don't like it.
Interesting.
I don't remember hearing the music here when I was last here.
I wonder why it might be quieter here now. But do you think that the music has something to do with when you're going to need to use your magic?
I don't know.
I suppose we should be somewhat on our guard.
I'm gonna stick close to you, Antonin.
Okay.
Solaire is going to use his shift weave to change into his finest clothing with the cloak
All right.
and look for some place with accommodations because he has no interest in spending another night ever in his life under Wrath's care.
Understandable.
You ungrateful little shit.
The last time you were here, there was a sleeping room in the inn. It was an inn rather than just a bar.
Well, then he will head that way and see if there's some place that he can sleep.
Okay. Your clothes are very fine, by the way. Far finer than anything anybody in this town currently wears. And not just because they're all sleeping.
So, Wrath, I think you needed to process the intake of these children into your orphanage.
And you what?
The girl speaks up for the first time and says, "Do we have to go with him?"
Me.
That is an excellent question.
Mommy and Daddy said that we had to, but, well, they're dead now, so what they say doesn't really matter. She
Well, that
gives you a
saves
look
up
like
the
you're the biggest moron in the history of the universe.
Well, to be fair, Wrath thinks he is.
Well, you know, we weren't really sure what the overall timeline was on all of that. I'm glad we don't have to have that conversation. You understand that, then?
She gives you a withering look like you're the biggest moron in the multiverse.
Sure, yes, I understand. Well, if you would prefer, I'm sure that Goras and I can afford some more lodging at the hotel. Goras, do you think we can afford that?
Sorry, you asked me a question right when I muted to take a bite of my food.
Goran just stared into the distance for a while.
Yes,
The girl
he's
looks
listening to the music.
far less sure of herself.
I have plenty of funds at the moment.
Okay, so perhaps this night you prepare the rooms, and then we go from tomorrow. Today we take care of them. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, just don't forget who owns them. I mean, who cares for them? Who's the orphan master?
I won't forget.
Everybody
Course
knows he
not.
doesn't care for the orphans. That's why they all ran away.
I whisper. Yes, actually, we both were orphans back in a long time ago.
No longer orphans?
This
No,
seems to
because
make
you
sense
do
to
not
her.
own us anymore.
I'm pretty sure I was born an orphan.
Weren't orphans because I owned you. Unless you were.
The law is strange in this country. They outlawed slavery and inlawed orphanage.
In-lawed.
I know.
Solir, the door is still kind of hanging open. It's not like a swinging saloon door. The woman just didn't close it after herself, and no one else saw fit to close it behind her.
Well, then I'll walk through it and enter.
Okay. You enter. And the layout of this room is really not terribly different than it was years ago. And you're hit with a wave of nostalgia as you see the fireplace where on days of winter festivals the variously numbered children would roast smoked sausages over the fire and eat all the onions and potatoes that they wanted. It was a lot of onions and potatoes. The innkeeper is not the innkeeper who would have, keep saying inn. The barkeep is not the barkeep that was the innkeeper when you were young. He is a dude who probably moved here about 15 years ago. He he was owed quite a lot of money by the old innkeeper who ran away into the mountains with his treasure, and no one ever heard from him again. Rumor has it that his ghost still haunts the mountains.
Rumor has it? No.
He looks at you all with a bit of trepidation. It's the middle of the night. He doesn't often get strangers, and Wrath is here. He says, "Oh, hello, Wrath. Are these friends of yours?"
They're
He moves the plate of onions and bread slightly further toward himself.
they're my orphans. They're just
Oh.
big.
Oh, they're so big, though. They must
Pain in the
be.
ass.
They must be your graduated orphans. Old orphans.
Prefer former orphan, of
Yes,
course.
Still
I
an
prefer
orphan.
orphans.
Jesus.
Did we graduate? I don't remember graduating anything.
Unless your parents
I
came back,
found my father.
Oh dear, this is the one that you told
that
me
doesn't
about.
count.
I see. Well, welcome back to your home, then, gentlemen. Though
Sir,
Just leave the orphans outside.
I forgot to move them.
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I very much appreciate the musical accompaniment you have here tonight, sir.
Ah, this is the one you were telling me about. Thank you, sir. We pride ourselves greatly on our culture here. We are the finest establishment in the town. Some would say in the canton.
It's beautiful.
What can I do for you, gentlemen, tonight? And, Wrath, those were the ones that you were supposed to take in. I know their family sold me all of my ware, all of my cookware, all of my glassware. Children, please come here. The boy just kind of, the boy. You just set the boy down on one of the tables because he's fast asleep. And I gotta remember what the children's names is. Sue.
The children's names is.
Yes. I am DM Gollum, which is not a musical performance name, unfortunately. So the barkeep says, "So, anything that I can do for your family, it would be only a small amount of repayment for what your family has done for me. Whatever I can do, I will do so. Only say the word." And she immediately says, "Well then, help us become monster hunters." He says, oh yes, bless your heart.
She's in charge of that.
Is who in charge of that?
The bartender. Does she have that authority?
I mean, in terms of you become a monster hunter by taking a written test and paying a small amount of money.
Almost always a written test.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know about
Yes.
Gorris's case.
Yes, yes. The written,
He had to have comprehend languages active for a really long time for it to work. It was really
it
awkward.
was a really interesting process. Says, well, tonight I will give you use of the room and of the lodgings as you need it, and we can discuss details tomorrow. You look as though you are on the verge of death. I'm sure it is an interesting story, but it is very late. I frankly do not. I do not wish to hear it tonight. I just chased out the last night rat. I was really hoping to lock up, but and then you came in, and I'm glad you did. I really am glad you did. I am happy to be of service, but I suppose it is good timing.
As he mentions that it's a long story he doesn't want to hear about, Goris doesn't say anything, but he just keeps flicking spiders off him in random places. Like,
Do we
The
all
spiders-
smell like? Do we all smell like spiders?
You do, yes. And the spiders that you flick off seep into the cracks of the floor.
Is he just being polite enough to not mention it?
His eyes are darting this way and that.
I have prestidigitation. I will start Cleaning.
Boris has it too, but he wasn't smart enough to use it until Antonin started using it.
Roy is actually doing that also. It is a prestidigitation sweep, as you all are just cleaning like crazy.
Spiders flying off.
Yes. Congratulations, you're creating the basis of a new dungeon as we speak.
They're going into the floorboards, and yeah, it's gonna be a mess in a few years.
Yep. And we're gonna end there for tonight.
I have one question.
Yes.
All right.
In the laws here, what happens to the property of the family of the newly orphaned children?
Belongs to the town, probably.
I didn't know if maybe like it was just kept in trust for them, or if it went. To the orphans.
That's usually something that doesn't come up because most people don't own property. They're usually just renting off of the town's property.
But these people did.
These people did have their own little house, which means they found a part of the woods where there was woods, and they cleared the woods and they built a house.
I just didn't know if like I would know what happened to it.
Can you give me a history check, please?
Like I'm in the orphan business, so
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're good at your job.
that's true.
Yeah. You're definitely not good at your job.
The family didn't like legally own a piece of property. They claimed a piece of property that will be overgrown if nobody takes care of it. The town isn't even going to bother with it, really. It's because they're not going to send people out miles to take care of a tiny little house when there is infinite vast wilderness all around.
Okay, so it's just abandoned.
Yes.
Should we just appreciate how many nat 20s I've rolled today?
Yeah, it's a little
Quite a few.
scary.
How many like sacrifices have you made in this past week? Just curious.
Well, I
little
did
orphans?
cook a lot of egg rolls.
So there's only
Oh.
2 orphans.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything about it. Well, we're gonna close there for tonight. You guys have a good.
All right.
Thank
Hey
you.
Taylor,
Yes.
Thank you very much,
real
Taylor.
quick. Also, yes, thank you very much. But can I move my token around the map to explore real quick, or would you prefer I
Yes.
wait?
All the houses you can't get into are locked.
Okay.
So anywhere that you can go, you should be able to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want
I'll
to
leave
defog
Foundry
of
up
war
for a
it real
couple
quick.
minutes. Oh
Thank
yeah.
you.
Hold on. I'll just defog of war if can I do that?
I think you can just disable it entirely,
I
but
don't think I have fog of war. Like I can see the whole map where it's not blocked by walls.
Let me see. Turn off fog exploration. Okay. Is that
Okay,
better?
now
so that just means that I never get like it's always black.
And out into that.
Oh.
Like there's
dang it.
no memory of it, you know.
Okay. Okay. Then I'll turn it back on.
Yeah.
Yay. And I'll
Thank you.
leave this up for a few more minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for running, Taylor.
You are welcome.
Thank you indeed.
Thank you.
See you guys later.